Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Hearthstone Tavern Brawl guide, I'm going to take a look at Return of Mechazod. Mechazod wants a rematch, this time new allies stand against him. Good luck with this Return co-op brawl. So in this brawl, you're going to actually play together with your opponent, so two humans against Mechazod. Mechazod is a huge minion that switches the side of the board each turn so that it will always be on the opposing side, and together you're trying to bring his health down to 0. But he has a lot of health, so it's not a simple task. You can't just jam damage into him and expect to win. You actually need to have a bit of a strategy here. Also, there is some randomness involved, so some of the runs will fail even if you play well, so note that and don't mind that. In this co-op brawl, one of the players will play as a druid and another will play as a mage. And the main ways that you have to kill Mechazod. One is that you want to have some token minions on the board so that you can use Savjz Roar, but do note that if your board is completely full, you have 7 minions on the board, Mechazod tries to switch over to your side, then Mechazod will actually destroy your entire board, so always leave some space open. Also, whenever there is a chance to generate minions for your opponent, at least leave one space open every time. So Savjz Roar and tokens is one way, then Mage has a bunch of damage spells, so spell damage minions and damage spells is another way, and one way to populate the board with more powerful tokens is Trogsaw, the Earthinator. So Trogsaw and your opponent generating those minions for you, because all the negative effects in this brawl are actually beneficial effects that happen to your opponent. Like Trogsaw the Earthinator, whenever your opponent casts a spell, summon a burly rockjaw trog. So if Druid has a Trogsaw, then every time Mage casts spells, Druid gets more minions. So all the negative effects are actually good in this brawl. As for the very start of the game, the mulligan, you want to keep cards that draw cards, that ramp up, or that have negative effects that benefit your opponent, which is your partner in this case. When you play this brawl as a druid, your main target is to keep a token board at all times ready to do Savjz Roar, and then you also have a couple of really powerful cards in your deck with Lawwalker Cho and Millhouse Mana Storm. Lawwalker Cho, whenever a player casts a spell, put a copy into the other player's hand. So you can also give some Savjz Roars to the Mage, and if Lawwalker Cho survives, then Mage can give damage spells to you. Note that Mechazod will use a special ability to destroy Lawwalker Cho whenever they are on the same side of the board. So you play Lawwalker Cho and you will have maximum of 1 turn of mage spells, or if you play Lawwalker Cho in the mage's mirror entity is the only secret the mage has, then Lawwalker Cho will be destroyed immediately after the first turn. But that turn can still be powerful because, for example, you can use it to give 2 Savjz Roars to the mage player. You also have Millhouse Mana Storm in your deck. Battlecry enemy spells cost 0 next turn. So whenever Mage has enough mana to potentially play some spell damage minions, and then you can give Millhouse, and then with Millhouse the Mage can just unload with those damage spells. Very powerful combinations. When you're playing this brawl as a mage, you try to get some damage spells going and preferably set up big turns with spell damage minions and those damage spells. You also have pretty good defensive measures. For example, you have animated armor, your hero can only take 1 damage at a time, so typically most of the healing should go to the druid. You also have Bran Bronzebeard in your deck, so whenever you're able to set up negative effects or battlecry effects, you can duplicate those with Bran. So for example, Bran and Arcane Golem can give multiple mana crystals to your druid friend. Of course, Arcane Golem is still a great card just to play on turn 3 and give that 1 mana crystal to druid. In this brawl you typically want to keep some minions on the board at all times, but you can also use some of the minions to attack and deal some chip damage to Mechazod. Finally, a word about Mage's Mirror Entity. Mirror Entity generally should be played a little bit later in the game, because it can give very powerful copies. For example, Jungle Moonkin for more spell damage to both players, Trogsaw the Earthinator, so that you will have a couple of Trogsaws on the board, so probably some of those are going to survive, and Lawwalker Cho if the druid wants to give you twice the spells, but then you can't give any spells back to a druid because then Lawwalker will be destroyed immediately. And this is what the brawl looks like in action. Alright, I'm playing as druid and I'm keeping the ramp card. Got Millhouse, alright. Millhouse will be useful but only much later on. Aviana, well, potentially. We'll see. I have nothing that I can play here. Ouch. Gains attack, yeah. See, I see. Nope, still nothing. Next turn we can Grove Tender Mana Crystal for both players. We can help the mage. Mage often has like place for 3 mana though, so not necessarily help that much. Alright, Mukla actually survived the turn. It's nice. Got the mana. Then we want the zombie chow out there. well, Mukla tanked a bit of hits there. That was not bad from Mukla. Not bad at all. Right, we're getting more cards. That means we're going for more mana. This one gives an active mana crystal, not an empty one. We keep ramping with this. Then we keep ramping with this. At this point I can kill off the zombie chow there. And heal the mage a little bit. Okay. We have both ramped up. That's nice. Bunch of good ramping. Some losses, but still acceptable levels. Do I set up my board or do I try to get a spell turn for the mage? I think I will work on setting up my board this turn. I can do both. I can also give the mage. I want to do it like this. I want to do it like this. Next turn we're going in with Scenarios. That's the plan right now. And then the turn after that I'm going to give the mage some opportunities. No, Troxor. Always dies. That's fine though. We're going to get some damage in. Next turn we're going to help the... Oh dear. Next turn we're going to help the mage. We're going for a Moonkin Millhouse turn. Just don't play spells now. Wait one more turn with the spells. Please wait one more turn with the spells. Good, good. That's excellent. Then we do what we can. Six. And that's the best we've got. That's the best I've got. Don't have much else. Couldn't get the Lawwalker. But Mage now has some spell damage and some cheap spells, so maybe. Okay. Alright, they did have a bunch of spells in hand. That's not bad. Mechazod is down to 42, so we might be able to just slowly wiggle it down from here. Afraid of one of these. Okay. So I have 8, 9, 12 on board. Each has 7. I can take one more hit and that's it. Savjz top deck? No, Trogzor. No cards. Okay. Try to keep some stuff out here. Oh noes, we're running out of time. And out of cards. I'm not holding back anything here. This is all I've got. Which will have to push everything now. Yeah, now it's all in. It's all in. It's all in. Hit with everything. Hit with the beast. Hit with the beast. At least with the beast. Come on, you need to hit with the beast. Yes. Alright. If it's not damage to both, it's a win. Phew. This can get a little hectic sometimes. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.